Welcome back. Here we are. It feels like a long time because it has been since we've recorded one. But in the past week or so, we have actually...
We caught up.
Picked our pace back up. Yeah, you know, life happens. I got busy. You got busy. We've had some changes in the world. I got new glasses. We got new mic arms.
New table, I think.
Yeah.
Is it, or maybe one before.
We might have had one episode with this. Yeah. The Dodgers got in the World Series. It was awesome. It's crazy because I'm so used to having the mic resting. It like kind of became a safety thing for me, or like I felt comfortable doing it.
There's a fidget spinner on the desk there.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll take that.
Take it. I got this.
Oh, nice.
Mr. Furious.
Are you okay? Are your cables connecting okay?
Yeah. I mean,
like they're not.
You can hear me, right?
They're not in the way.
No.
Yeah. So biggest thing is that we got these fancy new mic arms. Well, actually,
we're trying to step up our game.
Yeah, we are. One of these is a Rode branded mic arm, and then I got the Amazon basic one.
Shout out to Rode, by the way. We are recording this on a Rode Podcast Pro.
We are.
Podcaster.
Great product. You're definitely in charge of that department.
Yeah, the mics are Rogue, and they're Rogue.
Yeah,
the mics are Rogue
One.
Anyways, it's all good stuff.
Yeah, man, it's all good stuff. But
if anybody knows anyone who works at Rode, let them know that we love their gear.
Yes, we do.
I'd be happy to try the new version of this.
I would too. I know. I've got to I got to bug them online because I haven't really. We've shouted them out quite a bit, and I don't think we've ever tagged them or anything or added them. So I should do that. Again, I run the social channels, so it's hard out there to be doing this just completely by ourselves, and we're trying to keep a good pace up. But we apologize if there's some gaps in our content schedule and our posting schedule. We're attempting to remedy those situations and kind of get into a better cadence going forward.
I think for us,
we bit off more than we could chew early on because we were like one a week, which was kind of feasible. But then again, life happens, stuff gets in the way.
Yeah. We got a lot going on.
We got a lot going on.
Wedding in the family coming up.
Yeah,
babies.
Crazy. And throughout all of this, the house was still being worked on, and
that's finished. Fine.
It's kind of a construction zone here for a while, but that's fine.
This
persevere.
content is only interesting to people who know us personally.
I don't care. It's good stuff, man. This is cool, interesting stuff.
We hope that the two of us have something to do with it.
I don't like this because I can't really see you through this mic arm.
Well,
can I adjust it?
Yeah, go like that. Try that. Now we're probably on the edge of our video now.
Well, I guess this is still good quality. I like in terms of like vocal fidelity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like I kind of want to split the difference between
just
being able to. This is cool. I still can't get over the fact that I don't have to rest it on my belly anymore.
Well, you shouldn't have had to.
Goodbye to the belly mic. Yeah.
They have technology for that.
Cute little.
Seems a bit cumbersome, but it works. So.
Do you see the Dodger swag we got going here? We got the Dodger mugs. We're drinking Arnold Palmer's non-alcoholic. We got Dodger hat here. Behind me, visually, for those of you watching, I always felt Al's corner, his angle is better because he's got all this stuff behind him and the bookshelves and the Bob's Big Boy and the action figures, and I kind of always
Batman.
Yeah, but people can barely see that. There's just like an Apple box, and I put Freddie Freeman, the bobblehead, on there, and a little skeleton. I keep this stuff in.
Yes, there are two versions of this.
For those of you out there who are the real heads, it's kind of like going to see a Grateful Dead concert where you're like, well,
expanded version. I
heard them play Touch of Grey at, the Sunset Festival in 1980, but did you hear them play Touch of Grey? Whatever. Like dive. You listen to the YouTube one, you get a little different vibe.
Yeah.
Versus Al's cut downs.
Cut downs, I would call them that. My tightened versions.
Anyway, how you doing?
Anyways, I'm good.
Yeah.
We thought, we hadn't really just done one where we're just yesing with each other a little bit. So, but we had a movie we thought we'd use as our kickoff point, and then it's Halloween season.
Yes.
And we watched the other night the Lon Chaney Jr. Although billed as Lon Chaney, maybe it was Lon Chaney. As the Wolfman. Man. And I don't know if I'd actually ever seen the whole movie.
It had been a while for me. And again, those movies are so, the Universal monster movies in general.
Yeah, we figured we're going to pull one
together
from the classic Universal monster movies.
41, because it was on the later end of their. Because if I'm not mistaken, Phantom of the Opera is in the 20s, and then you had Dracula probably early 30s. So a bulk of them were in the 30s, and so Wolfman's on the later end of that.
Yeah,
that wave.
Lugosi was in it. I mean, it was kind of weirdly an all-star cast. Bela Lugosi plays a gypsy in it.
Yes, he does. He plays a gypsy named Bella.
Bella? Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's see, who else? Claude Rains.
Although they always pronounce it as Bela.
Bela.
And I thought they were saying bailiff, and I was like,
maybe it is Bela. I mean, they would know.
In the movie.
They were working with him.
Yeah, true.
Unless the actor's Bella, character was Bela.
Maybe he wanted that distinction. But yeah, no, it's a pretty pervy movie. He basically...
It's an odd movie.
Yeah, like, it's... What Lawrence Talbot, is that the character's name? Who's essentially come back to his family.
Talbot family.
Yes, the esteemed Talbots of England, who inexplicably have a Claude Rains as their British patriarch, but both sons were American or
I
something?
think,
I'm not
quite
sure
Lon
what happened.
was left to go off to...
Yeah. He
America,
sounds like he just got plucked from the docks
I
of
swear to
New
God,
Jersey.
I thought he was playing Lenny in Of Mice and Men. It's a very straight performance, which is very watchable. He's kind of a quirky actor.
He's kind of cumbersome. What the hell?
Humbling?
He is. That was my attempt to fuse two words together. I swear to God, this is just Arnold
Maybe
Palmer.
the caffeine and tea will help you.
Yeah, no, he's quite aloof. He's maladroit. That's a good word. He's kind of fumbling all the time. He's like got a weird kind of stocky build, and I don't think he quite like is comfortable in his body.
And he does.
This is a very interesting. I'm sorry to Lon Chaney Jr.
But we all noticed it because I'd seen this and we were kind of going. But I think it's good though. It's like he reminds me of just an actor that's a little bit of a. You don't know quite what's going to happen.
Yeah, he also does feel a little bit to me like they did this. I mean, not exclusively mid-century, probably for a long while in Hollywood. In fact, they're still guilty of this, where you play a man who's clearly in his early to mid 40s as somebody who's kind of like
a young man.
Yeah, like that. The age gap between him and Claude Rains doesn't seem that big, and Claude is his dad.
Yeah,
he keeps calling him father, and it feels weird.
He's hitting on the like 20
people call him kid or something. I'm like, this is a fully grown adult male, and also his size is funny. Man. Right, and it's just Lon Chaney Jr. is kind of this big like lunky dude, and so it's like people calling him kid. Just it feels. Surreal or something.
One other thing that struck me as sort of funny, and then we can talk about all kinds of Halloween movies. But they make an impression of the wolf print, and it's this big. Yeah, like the size of a dish. Yeah, and the guy's going, "This is clearly a wolf print." And I'm going, "Is it? Yeah, it would be a really big wolf."
Yeah, no,
but they couldn't make his feet any smaller.
I guess they couldn't.
It had to be a Lon Chaney. It
had to be a Lon Chaney wolf. Well, because when he is, it's funny how you watch these things and sometimes your memory or the cultural memory of it, of like what you think happens in these transformation scenes, like him transforming into the Wolfman. I, for whatever reason, going into this, having watched it however long ago, was like, oh yeah, there's like a shot of the hair on his face, and they don't do that, and at least not in this iteration. The first.
What? No, at the end after he's been killed.
That's the only time they do it. But like for those first two transformations, it's just his feet.
His feet.
And we kept going like, wait, aren't they going to cut? I thought there was one of his.
Well, I knew there was, but that's it. It's feet at the very end and face once.
But it feels like kind of a weird. I guess you go with it the first time because of the limited capabilities to do those kind of effects. And the makeup is cool, like when he's in it. But it is a weird thing because you start to see the transformation and they kind of tee it up. Like they're going to make a big meal out of this moment of him transforming, and they start to show the hair growing and his shoes burst, and you're like, oh, well, now we're going to get this, and it's like they don't show it.
The technological limits unfortunately hurt them because he is an actor that moves around a lot. And as he started, it's like his skin's crawling, and he's looking at his skin, and then they cut to his feet, and they're rock still because literally, if anybody knows, hit me up. I'm just guessing because of my knowledge of filmmaking, but I think the way they had to do it was lock off the camera and he can't move. Probably and they would probably come in and put more hair on. Yeah. But he had to keep his feet, and they still move. I mean, there's no way to do that because it probably took an hour to do
for a clumbersome, the word I created earlier. For some actor like him, that must have been tough. He would not be
sitting still. Well, that's what looks so odd. He's in this chair like that, and they cut to his feet, and it's almost like they're nailed to the floor.
Yeah, I'm like, he would be moving. Funny, maybe this would be a good segue. I wanted to watch, because after we watched this the other night, in the spirit of spooky season, it being the month of October. And as a side note, we're going to endeavor to try to get these episodes out sooner.
Maybe we'll get it out in October.
I think that's the goal. That's the goal.
Yeah, we're going to try.
I do think, opinions differ on this, but for me, the kind of Halloween, spooky season, horror movie thing. Obviously Hollywood,
Thanksgiving.
They'll release those movies any time of year. I don't think there's any strict sort of bracket on when a horror film is profitable, because you see Blumhouse movies coming out in March and February. So anyway, but for my purposes, I do like to get into the horror mode for pretty much, end of September through December. It seems fine, because there's a whole British tradition too of ghost stories, and that's a whole other thing we can get into. But anyway, I was going to say, looking this up after we watched it, obviously, there were a bunch of different sequels, and they found ways to continue the story, even though the Talbot character in this film technically dies. But they did a remake.
I think his dad was bit, though.
Claude Rains, right? I'd be curious to see what the more recent, of that era, what the
how they made Son of Wolfman or whatever they were.
Because they obviously kept going. But they did just a reset remake in the 2010s with Benicio del Toro that Joe Dante directed. That I'm very curious to see. And I forgot about that. It definitely didn't do well, and it flopped. And I think it was one of those kind of, if I remember correctly, Mark Romanek, the music video director, who also did 1 Hour Photo and the Kazuo Ishiguro adaptation that I'm forgetting the name of, about the clones. Someone will remind me. So accomplished filmmaker, but he was on it, and they pulled him off because of production issues, and they replaced him with Joe Dante. So it was one of those things too, where they
troubled production.
Yeah, they were midway through, but it's got a good cast. It's Benicio as the Talbot character, and Anthony Hopkins plays his dad in it. So I'm kind of curious to see
that. Also, we talked about watching Wolfen, and ended up watching The Wolf Man.
Yeah, so that you have kind of described the background for me.
That's a movie. It's not a perfect movie by any sense, but it's got something cool about it. It does touch on some Native American stuff, which I thought was really fascinating. Indigenous, legends mixed in with what was happening, here. Anyways, it's good, and at the time, it was just kind of a rethought Wolfman movie.
Yeah,
which I liked a lot.
Yeah, they've gone back to the well many times. Most recently, and we would be remiss if we didn't mention it, in February of this year, they tried to do a reboot through Blumhouse, kind of similar to the way they did the Elizabeth Moss Invisible Man from a few years back. Where they played it kind of like domestic abuse. She has a boyfriend who's super stalkery and abusive. And it's interesting. I didn't really like it, but it did really well. And so I think they're trying to do a similar thing with the Wolfman property, and they had that version come out with Julia Garner and Christopher Abbott from February, and it flopped. So I don't know. It feels like one of these things where it's so part of the lore of our culture,
and it does go back. They talk about that in the old movie,
and it does have basis in sort of the lycanthropy. It starts literally with a definition of lycanthropy.
Yeah,
that's the first frame in the movie. Yeah. So
long, they give you plenty of time to read
Well, that's when you're waiting for people to still come in from the street, because I imagine back then, you didn't really have as many ads.
So. But
you had newsreels,
trailers, and newsreels.
But people
and short. Back then, I think it was still you get a cartoon or whatever before.
Yeah.
It was a good thing.
Yeah. Or you just go in because you had time. It was hot.
Well,
they were just I gotta go in here.
I was going to say, I think why we remembered more Transformations is because probably the first time you saw Lon Chaney as the Wolfman was in Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
Yes, which we almost consider watching.
Which we probably should have.
We got time. We can still. It's still a week away from Halloween.
I know. I think that would have been more entertaining.
Yeah,
it's actually funny, and Karloff is in it.
They got all the
in it.
Because Abbott and Costello were a Universal
I think so, yeah.
team, right? I mean, they had signed with them to do all their stuff. So, yeah.
But they got all these guys to agree to come and be in it again, and it's funny.
It's so good. Actually, we should rewatch it because those jokes live rent-free.
I pitched it the other night, and I got shot down by you guys. So
no, you didn't get shot down. We just wanted to do like the proper horror movie, and then I mean they're short. That's the other benefit is that all of these movies,
they're like 80 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
This one needed to be paced up. A lot of walking, a lot of shoe leather. A lot of those older films.
Shoe leather. That's funny. Yeah, the Abbott and Costello one is great. There's just so many jokes in that live like rent free in my head of them kind of like doing
they managed stuff. To bump into every one of the.
Yeah, what's the one with the Wolfman though? Because Lon Chaney Jr.
That's my favorite joke for that.
Yeah, Lon Chaney Jr.'s in it, and they're like talking to him or something, and he goes, "Yeah, you don't understand. Like on every full moon, I turn into a wolf, and I like devour the flesh of whatever." Abbott or Costello goes like, "Yeah, you and a dozen other guys." It's a way quicker, more elegant joke. I butchered it. Again, brevity is the.
Hey, I can give you another crack at it.
No, it's okay. We'll just keep trucking.
Just rip it off like you knew it.
Yeah. So Abbott asks Lon Chaney Jr. Man, dude, I can't. I can't. I think it's like the spirit of Abbott's like, don't tell my joke. Or is it Costello?
They would love that the joke. I forget who says it. No, it is.
He goes like Don Lon Chaney Jr. is like on every full moon I turn into a wolf, and then Abbott goes like, "Hey, you and a million other guys."
We need to get.
I got it on take 3.
You got it. Yeah, I'm gonna cut the good one in though.
Okay, thanks.
Obviously, cut that out.
Yeah.
No, it was funny, and they just they're funny.
Yeah, they are. Speaking of wolf,
scared me as a kid though. By the way, when I saw it on TV, I was still really little.
It was scary. Abbott and Costello?
Because they had Frankenstein was in it, and the Wolfman. I think they're all in it. The Mummy, Dracula.
Yeah. The one I haven't really watched, actually, I think is the original Invisible Man.
Well, that one, actually, I talked about that. Yeah. That I didn't have that one. That one is good. It's really
what we should do? Have you been able to phone in a friend yet? If I hold my phone up to the mic.
Well, you can't, no, you can plug in the phone.
This will be funny. I'm going to cold call Colin and see if he answers because on the topic
Do you want me to grab the little thing?
No, I'll just hold.
No, there's a thing that's designed for that.
But here, can I pitch you what I'm going to do first?
Yeah.
Before we do it. So we're talking about Universal Monsters. We're talking about 1930s. He went to the new park in Florida where they made a new ride that was overseen by Steven Spielberg.
Let me go grab the little cord. All right. We're 19 minutes, so we'll shave off.
Okay. Yeah. Go grab it. I'm going to text Colin. Oh, I do have the new phone. It's fine. I'll just hold up the speaker to this. Let's not make it more complicated than it needs to be. But dude, fidelity's going to be fine. I'll just do it on speaker right here like this. Yeah, like this. It'll be great. All good. We'll figure it out. All right. I'm going to give him a ring. This will be fun. Yeah, so we're talking about Universal Monsters, and if anybody knows about Universal Monsters, it's...
or Disneyland, the actual place.
Sure. Disney doesn't have as many monsters.
No, but I was just talking
They don't know about monsters.
I thought you were giving Colin's
They got Monsters
background
Inc.
for him. They do have Monster. Hey, don't knock it.
They do. And they did, what's it called? Journey Under the... Or 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yeah.
Which was the original with James Mason. Claude Rains and Wolfman is a little bit...
a little stiff.
Let's see if he picks up. This will be funny.
I know. It's funny. You look at a lot of those. I mean, the stable of actors that were in those movies.
To an automatic voice message system. 6.
Okay, so that's not going to happen.
He might be on a call.
All right.
Man.
It doesn't matter. All right, so, yeah.
All right, well,
I can get us out of the Abbott and Costello thing.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. Well, we could. Anyway, so he's unavailable.
Okay, so we tried to call Colin because he's the resident authority on all things sort of Universal themed, and he recently went to the new park in Florida where they have a Universal Monsters ride.
Yeah, land, I think.
Or whole, yeah, exactly. And we wanted to kind of get his thoughts.
I'd like to see that
on how they're carrying that IP forward, because it is pretty valuable IP. I will say, before we stick a pin on the Universal Monsters, which is a very storied tradition at Universal, they did try to do like a Universal. Well, they were
supposed to be a
Monsterverse.
Yeah.
They did that Tom Cruise Mummy movie that was god awful that came out in like 2016.
I know, it's funny. You think they could.
Why him?
And why they're struggling with the other ones too? It's like
they had it teed up though. They were going to do like Javier Bardem was cast, and Russell Crowe was going to be like Dr. Jekyll. I'm just going to read their list of like who's in the Universal Monster family, because I think there's definitely some that are like that get less shine or less love.
Yeah, I just think, it sounds like there's just been some bad fits for because the idea is good to remake these. I mean, the movie we saw the other day was really not that good.
Yeah,
frankly.
Universal Studios Monsters, the original work, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde from 1913.
Oh.
So the films that are kind of considered in the classic era include Jekyll and Hyde, 1913, Hunchback of Notre Dame, 1923, Phantom of the Opera, 25.
Yeah. Stage 27.
Yeah. And so, again, back to what we were saying, a bulk of these were coming out late 20s through the 30s. And actually, funny enough, prior to The Wolf Man, there was a film in 35 just called Werewolf of London. That actually predates Wolfman as a sort of lycanthropy.
Werewolf.
Exactly. But yeah, it's funny because they sort of stopped. Colin Costello is considered part of the classic era because they had the actors in it. That was 55 though.
Yeah.
But then there was like a big gap between 56 and 79. And then they had John Badham come back to do a Dracula film in 79. Well, not come back, but revive the franchise, which is funny. That one was...
I don't remember that.
Do you remember Frank Langella?
Yes, then I did see it.
Interesting. And Laurence Olivier.
Oh, that's the one that's based on the play.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was like late 70s.
I also saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it any good?
It was really good.
Okay. And then... So,
it's kind of like...
It's a little more...
It's got a little dark humor, but it's scary.
I mean, Coppola's Dracula is pretty good.
Coppola's Dracula is really good.
Bram
We watched
Stoker's,
that last Halloween.
Yeah, that's a... Go ahead, Gary Oldman. Crazy in that.
It's good. And it's got some great visuals, like old school stuff. Shadow, a lot of cool...
Yeah, he was doing...
shadows. And
Yeah.
Before we get too far away from it, for those of you that are kind of listening to this and don't know this, the 1920s Phantom of the Opera was done at Universal.
Yes.
Where I've worked quite a bit right across from Stage 27 where they shot it. And there was a opera house built inside of that stage.
Yeah.
And all of the box seats, the floor seats were gone, but all the box seats and what would surround the stage were still there. And they were there till they tore the soundstage down just a few years ago, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Danny knows why, because after the movie was done, they went in to dismantle the set, and there was a freak accident. Somebody was killed.
Yeah.
So the next day, or 2 days later, whatever, they went back in and to begin work again. Somebody else was killed in a freak accident, and then the people refused to work on it. It stood there until they demolished the...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I do think there is something about that line of work, too, with like stagehands and stagecraft where you respect... It's like not... You call it the Scottish play, right? You don't call it...
Right.
What?
Macbeth. Well, we're not in the theater. I can say
that's true. We can say
you can't say it in the theater.
No, but I mean, I think
physically. I think,
but those are. It feels similar to that to me too, where it's like there's just bad mojo when you do that, like in a theater or in a set or a soundstage. Like there's a lot of opportunities for accidents to happen because of the complications that come with rigging lights and all that stuff. So why would you throw any bad energy that way? That's how I see it. I don't necessarily believe in the ghost story of it, but it definitely was interesting. And it definitely, I remember... There's
probably more to that story. That's how it got down to me. There maybe 5 people got killed. I don't know. But I do know that it never was taken down. And Danny worked on that stage and saw it.
Yes, I was going to say I PA'd on CSI, and I remember a day playing, and I mean, it was like, the cutest little Nepo origin story you could ever imagine. You would be working on another soundstage. I'd be PAing on whatever was, shooting concurrently.
Doing inserts or
you
something.
Could go home, and I was like, still on with these guys because we just, we clocked in at like noon. But I do remember it was like a late shoot, and
you were in there.
We were in there for a while, and it was. I think I might even have
you took some
pictures in my. I mean, it would have been probably even pre-iPhone, but the back of that stage, it was just they kept the opera set. It was proscenium.
Yeah, what would have been
the box seats.
The stage was remember how big that it was, like two buildings,
really tall.
That's where that was, and then what remained was the surrounding area, the horseshoe, with all the boxes
and all that stuff,
opera boxes.
But they it did have an eerie feeling because you'd be back there, and I do remember they were like
cool looking
when they're rolling. You're just kind of standing there and being quiet. Again, I think this was pre-iPhone, so I couldn't like click around on Instagram, and I'm just kind of like looking around and seeing like the set from the 20s. And
you knew, you knew.
It's scary. I do want to correct myself because I said the Benicio del Toro, Anthony Hopkins Wolfman was directed by Joe Dante. It was not. It was Joe Johnston.
Okay.
Who we also like a lot.
Yeah. Rocketeer, right?
Yes. Yeah. Wait, I just don't want
to. No, actually. America.
Yes, yeah, Rocketeer was Joe Johnston, who was a ILM guy.
Yeah, and he did Captain America too, which was the first one, which I love.
Yeah, so we got to check that out. But also, I kind of want to like look.
He must love that period though, because both Rocketeer and they're both set in the 30s.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Well, no, the Rocketeer must have been 40s because of Nazis.
Yeah. Or he just is the guy that they.
There seemed to be a fondness for that.
Phantom of the Backlots. I'm on someone's personal sort of like a
Reddit
WordPress page. No, not even. I mean, I'm sure there's a Reddit thread about. This is just someone's little blog.
I always loved hearing that story, and I remember thinking I thought it was.
We found some pictures.
A long time
These pictures are crazy. I remember it.
All right, me that.
Yeah, I will. And when they did eventually demolish it, did they encounter any issues?
No, but I'll get that picture too. When I was working there, one of my coworkers, Nick Fuentes. Shout out to Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, shout out to Nick.
Had a very funny picture because we all knew about that. I remember hearing that story though before I had ever been on the soundstage, and I thought that was BS, and then it wasn't there.
Yeah.
So it was cool. One day I walked by, the elephant doors were open, and I thought, well, I'm going in and see if this is for real. And
it's scary, man.
We climbed up. Jonathan Pontel and I went wandering in there. We were the ones the first time we saw it, but we climbed up in the back and went up to like the second.
You did?
Yeah, you could still go up to because they shot in there.
Who's Jonathan Pontel?
He was is producer, director, and editor.
Oh,
I worked with him. When we were both editors.
John Heath mentioned him when we had him on the pod.
And we used to take walks on the lot, at lunch, after lunch.
Oh, speaking of, we're going in 2 days' time to visit the Universal lot with my dear friend.
Yes, I've been there for 9 years.
We're gonna get a VIP tour, and we'll be rolling on some BTS content there for sure.
So tell me, what did you learn anything about this? Or is this photographs?
Well, no, it's photographs, and I just kind of wanted to maybe bring some facts in to illuminate it.
Yeah.
A lot of photos. I'm looking for sort of the kind of full.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I have the story straight.
It's really crazy. Okay, so now they made way for a Transformers ride? Or was that already there?
No, that's where they put it. No, that was there.
Stage 28, right? This
27.
is
I don't know if they put 28 there wrong.
Interesting.
Unless we were 27 and the cross was 20. No, it was 27. Doesn't matter.
2021 is when it went away? Or was it earlier?
No, it was earlier than that. I was still working.
Okay, so this
2015.
I'm fact checking. I'm fact checking this person's blog.
Shit. It was gone. It was 2015.
Here, haunted,
maybe 14.
Haunted Stage Universal Studios.
It's 27. I wouldn't have forgotten that. I wouldn't have remembered it.
It's 28, bud.
Maybe it's both. Maybe it was both.
I'm looking at it. I just cross-referenced. The old story of a phantom haunting a Hollywood soundstage was brought to television. Number of episodes. Stage 28. Yeah, it was stage 28. And they also used it for Bride of Frankenstein.
I am going to find an old map that I have of the lot.
In 2014, they demolished the stage to make way for the expanding theme
We were
park,
still working there.
but not before carefully dismantling the Phantom's Opera House and putting it in storage.
Really?
Perhaps one day it will reappear in another film. So they kept all the stuff.
Wow. maybe that was the thing when they started destroying it. It killed somebody.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, because it's not like they never
kept
worked
it there.
in there. They kept it there.
It did appear in other films. Sorry, I'm just kind of skimming this thing.
Yeah, no, it was in a bunch of stuff.
But it was also largely there as a.
Though.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, in a real better world, you'd take that out and you have the whole.
Well, there was also, there was very little regard. I mean, in some ways, you have to appreciate the way union can at least enforce some safety rules in a workplace. Where
back then,
early
in the 20s,
days,
they probably
even
weren't a lot of those.
No, but even the lights, man, like the heat on some of these things, it's just like you read those stories kind of in the literal Wild West at the beginning of cinema, especially silence, where it was just like they were making up the rules as they went along, and so there was just a lot of reminds me of the sort of Day of the Locust era of filmmaking.
Think about this. I don't know if you've ever been in the booth of an old movie theater. But when film was nitrate, they all had these fire doors.
Yeah.
And if something happened, you'd get locked in there because it would burn so hot that they had to close it was designed to shut those doors. And if you happen to be in there, see ya.
So as a projectionist, it's just
you better get out quick.
It's an occupational hazard.
Yeah. Well, that stuff was like
you're like
super
as a
flammable
projectionist, you're like a captain. You go down with the ship.
Well, unless you get the fuck out right away. They closed that stuff. It was fire. The room was supposed to.
Well, this is good. This is a good segue because
it's a theater full of people. You can't.
I know.
I mean,
well, remember how that factors into the ending of Inglourious Bastards. Is
that's
it's
right.
key.
That's what that is.
That's how they get all the Third Reich trapped. I was speaking about the flammability of film and just storing film in general. Two things I want to bring up. One, the Universal backlot had suffered some fires over the years. One of the biggest ones was when you were there. They lost a lot of recording masters for the music library, but then also a ton of film.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I was just, as I tend to do, like...
They also lost half the backlot. I mean, they
had to rebuild.
Back to the Future Square, half of that burned down.
Hold on, I'm making a really great
go
point here. Sorry. But I'm basically film is hard to store and archive,
yes.
And one of the biggest archival libraries in the world for film is the UCLA Film and TV Archive, and they built.
Isn't that something in Utah in a salt mine?
No, well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's the
UCLA Film and Television Archive opened up a whole wing in Santa Clarita that they're hoping to expand. And I can insert photos of this place. Yeah, it's Hewlett Packard, not the company, but the family associated with them has some sort of trust or foundation that does sort of art restoration and cultural stuff.
Well, think the industry would support. I mean,
I know it's crazy,
sad,
but they funded this massive film vault up in Valencia, off the 5. You basically you see it one stop past CalArts before you get to Magic Mountain, and
same side of the road.
No, it's on. So if you're going northbound, it's on your right.
So it's on the east.
Yeah, it's east. Yeah,
side
of the east. Yeah,
yeah. There's some huge storage facility. I don't know if it's Utah somewhere. It's a salt mine, which is where most of the studios have all their original negative and stuff stored there, temperature controlled, and
that's cool.
They're still using film, even digital stuff. That's how they're archiving it. They're transferring it back to negative.
Well, yeah, they
storing
film out
because it doesn't.
It doesn't degrade.
With digital, I mean, as the technology changes, at some point you're not going to have a thing to play it on. So they're still archiving all the.
It's interesting because
like that.
I was working on some archival stuff, and people save things in different ways. But one way I had seen that was unique is just dupes of everything, where it's I can't for privacy reasons say who this was, but they would save multiple files, the same thing in different
files.
Basically
different
as a way to kind of counter the multiple drives. I mean, which is
it's smart
and in in our current sort of workflow for media, for digital stuff, it's like that you do need to have redundancy built in. But yeah, long term, who knows if the LaCie drive you have is going to be able to plug in.
Do you remember this? This was about probably 5 years ago now. They were talking about using glass, and the demo that they did was Superman.
Yeah, the 70s Richard Donner,
which
Superman.
Apparently is has massive potential for storage. I have no way to wrap my head around how they do that.
Glass, dude.
Glass.
It's a real thing, and I think Warner Brothers had invested or done some thing with them to kind of start to trial.
But I haven't heard a thing about it.
Because I think the cost savings would be enormous, because right now, if you think about it, it is the upkeep of keeping the film stored at the right temperature. It's just it's a lot. Yeah. I mean, obviously you have to deal with volume. But anyway, I was looking at all these photos of the UCLA Film and TV Archive, and the place they built up in Santa Clarita is really cool because they did it kind of in this Greco-Roman style, where it's this massive kind of column structure that looks like almost kind of like the Getty Villa or something.
It'll be part of the COC campus or something.
It's in that plot of land.
Okay.
So because there's those rolling hills where Grandma and Grandpa used to live.
Yeah.
Across from their condos, that's literally where they built the Film and TV Archive.
There's so much new stuff.
You should hit them up to go on a tour because it looks really cool.
Well, do you have a connection there still?
I could just say, yo, I went to your school.
Or we're Timecode Cowboys.
Yeah, maybe that'll have more sway.
It might.
Yeah, we did actually recently get our first cold email from somebody.
Yeah.
And I'm not quite sure of the veracity of it. So if you're listening, we're going to follow up. It's
I was going to say, I was looking at the timer, but I know what we need to talk about too.
What is it?
We got to talk about one battle after another.
Well, yeah, I was trying to get there with the Benicio stuff.
Well,
yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Wolfman stuff.
No, Wolf. I was going to go Benicio.
Thank you, Sensei.
Wolfman to... Yeah, thank you.
All right,
Sensei.
well, let's do it. Let's get into that.
Wait, but can I finish what I was going to say?
No.
Whatever.
When do I ever say no to you?
No, you don't.
No, finish.
It's just funny.
No.
What was I going to say? We're not having guests on for a while. We're not going to do that for a while. And
I know.
So I think we need to...
Except for this guy that hit us
That's
up.
basically what I wanted to say is that's great, but we need to we have to do this.
I think this is what it is, what we are.
Yeah, this is
and
what we are.
People like it. That's cool.
I think they love it, dude.
But we like to talk about shit.
Yeah. How about the Dodgers getting in the World Series? Can we just do a brief little thing on that?
We can.
Blue Jays, Dodgers,
Canada,
LA, Drake, Kendrick. It's going to be crazy.
My nephew Drew, Danny's cousin, has a connection to Toronto.
Yeah,
so
he's got some family. He's half Canadian, so he's stoked. We're texting.
Yeah, he's in.
But he's kind of like me, where he didn't really follow throughout the year. I mean, I did a little bit.
You did,
but I'm not nearly as well versed in terms of who they got in the lineup and whatever. I mean, I know the big names like Ohtani, and I know that one of the cheaters is on the Blue Jays team from the
we don't like
from the Astros, right?
Yep, Springer.
Not
fond of them cheating Astros.
No, we don't like them cheaters. Not won't be it.
No,
crack the whip for the cheater.
Oh.
That's what they get.
This is what we get if there's cheaters in the room. That's what we do.
Abort.
That's what we do to them.
Abort. Remember that at the end of Austin Powers?
Yes. I love all the guys that are doing the announcement, that PA things.
We got to watch In Like Flint again.
In Like Flint, which Austin Powers, and openly, a debt of gratitude, too.
Yes,
when I was a kid, I loved that movie and showed him to you when you were little.
What was the scariest movie you remember seeing as a kid?
You're going to laugh. The Nutty Professor.
Well, no. Tell me why, because it is a Jekyll and Hyde story.
It is, and it came out, I think I was 5 when it came out. And the scene where he transfers into the, Mr. Hyde, scared the crap out of me. I got up and walked out of the theater.
Yeah, it is scary.
My brother had to come and get me. I was in the lobby. I didn't want to go back in. And now it's it's hilarious. It's way too long, but it's like a funny Jerry Lewis movie.
Yeah, when he becomes Buddy Love.
Buddy Love.
Yeah, but that is such a. It's funny how the staying power of these. I mean, they have their origins in literature. A lot of these ideas, right? Like Jekyll and Hyde was a short story / novel. But it's funny how they get regurgitated and changed over time.
Because it's a cool story.
It is, yeah.
Even,
Wolfman. I mean,
Wolfman, yeah. You could do it. You could do it a million times.
The hell?
What?
You and a million other guys.
Wolfman.
But do we have that?
Which? No, but we got to get that.
Oh. I like how I just have this fidget spinner.
Well, so you didn't have your mic in your hand.
I don't.
No, but they answer your question.
This is
it's
crazy.
a movie that really scared the shit out of me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. But I literally have a thing I can't watch it.
What?
The Exorcist. I was 13, I believe, 12 or 13.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about it. Shouldn't have been in that. I went with a friend and their family.
Yeah.
Front row.
Oh my God.
Right when it opened. That's
Where'd you go see it at the Westwood?
Westwood at the National, which is long gone now.
Unfortunately.
And I slept with the lights on for
and you still won't rewatch it.
I don't want to see it.
It's a really good movie, though.
I have bad memories of that whole
It's so incredible. It's very
really
modern.
Good.
Owen Roisman, I think, shot it,
Yes, he's pretty good.
Incredible DP, did network.
But Mueller worked with him on
feels super modern, that movie. Still.
Yeah.
Friedkin is incredible.
Real, which is what it was grounded.
Yeah.
And that's why
I think why it's exactly. Well, also there's
the book was there was a lot of anticipation.
William
I didn't
Peter
know
Blatty. Yeah. Who was also a screenwriter and did a movie with Stacy Keach, I think.
Is that right?
Who Grandpa worked with on Traveling Executioner.
What movie was what would be your answer to that?
Well, if we're just going on like youth, like sort of like formative experiences and things you saw at a young age that left it mark or a scar in this, version of what we're talking about. Probably The Ghost of Mr. Chicken with Don Knotts.
So both of us.
Yeah.
It was a comedy.
You remember me being scared of that, right?
Yeah.
There's this whole thing where he's literally, Don Knotts is always going, well, I'm going in there. He's funny. Plays his, that's his like character.
Guy.
He's sort of like Ernest. The Ernest series of film, he's just always like playing the same guy. And in this one, he's, this bumbling town. What is he in?
The newspaper.
He's just like kind of the guy.
He works at the newspaper.
Luther.
But he's not really a writer.
Attaboy, Luther. I've seen that movie so many times, but
the music scared you.
It did, because there's this whole kind of plot, this very kind of circuitous thing to scare him straight, and he's supposed to spend the night in this haunted place.
Otherwise, he's going to discover some.
Yeah. And it turns out that it was all people pulling the strings. So there were no spirits or supernatural forces at play. But of course, to a 7-year-old or a 6-year-old.
Well, but remember the very end.
Well, I do remember the very end.
You don't know that. After everybody leaves and then the music starts playing and they cut to the organ.
I know, but don't do that, because now you're scaring me. He basically is in there, and this organ plays a tune that I still remember. It goes. I
can't get the blood.
Those notes
off the keys.
Scare the shit out of me. Like you and Colin would do that to me, and it actually really traumatized me. So I want to say that.
I apologize.
Really, sure. Colin, I should call his ass. Let's try him again.
Yeah, he's not going to pick up. He's working.
Let's call him again, though. I'm going to make him apologize for doing that. Every time that you guys saying those notes, it scared the shit.
Did he do it? He's got
hung up on me. All right. Well, you try to phone a friend. Anyway, that scared me. Ghost of Mr. Chicken, the haunted piano that plays itself, and the woman that was killed by the garden shears or something. I remember the plot. I haven't seen that in a while.
I think of Hill House. Or was
that the one with Vincent Price?
I can't remember if he's in the original one. They remade that a few years ago for television, and it was really good.
With Cara Gugino.
Yeah, it's excellent. I like her too.
She's sexy.
Good. And she was
not as sexy as Luna. Shout out, Luna.
I worked with her at Chicago Hub.
Yeah.
I was editing on that.
I think I met her on Chicago Hub as a baby.
Yeah.
Well, not a baby, but
probably
when I saw Ghost of Mr. Chicken.
Yeah.
Might have been traumatized. Maybe she would have remembered me if I was in a better mood, if I wasn't scared by that film.
Your eyes were bloodshot. I didn't sleep for 2 weeks after that. No,
it's scary. That, and I would say a close second would be just the general aura of Tiny Tim as a guy.
Just as a presence.
Yeah, he scared the shit out of me. And it's funny because it's usually like random things. And I remember the night, it was like you guys were out, the babysitter was there, I can't remember who was babysitting us because we went through.
I wondered where that started.
Yeah, and we had switched a channel from Disney to something else, and like an E! Entertainment True Hollywood Story
of Tiny
ad
Tim.
came up of like True Hollywood Story on Thursday, Tiny Tim, and I was like, tiptoe through the tulips, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? And it didn't say that.
Tim,
I was probably like,
you got married on Johnny Carson,
but she switched the channel too late, and I had seen that, and it was more like my imagination of filling in the blanks of who that freaky ass guy was. And then that song came back because it was used in SpongeBob, and it was used kind of in this tongue-in-cheek sort of interesting way, and it kind of
old song
helped me heal.
Even when he did
it's a scary song, man, and he's scary, and as a person,
he's like a really
his physiognomy.
We love you, Chens.
Love you, Chens. No, but seriously, his whole physiognomy was insane to me. And just that song is so creepy, dude. How did what was his vibe? Why was he around in the culture?
It was one of those one hit thing. He just popped up, and he was kind of quirky.
And did
he got
have
married
a
on
disease?
Johnny Carson to Miss Vicky, his girlfriend.
What was his vibe?
Kind of just doing these old 20s songs.
He
looked like Weird Al.
Well, no, he looked like one of the country bumpkin inbred kids from
Deliverance.
No, like one of the tallest ones of their crop or something.
He kind of looks like
he had crazy stringy hair.
Bob.
He scared the shit
Ichabod.
out of me, and I'm
Like
sorry,
Ichabod.
dude. I'm sorry to body shame Tiny Tim, but it's just like
look like Ichabod Crane. Ooh, that's another one that scared you when you were young.
Now
the
Disney Adventures of Mr. Toad and Ichabod Crane is one of the best things ever. And we watch it every year.
The Ichabod one. I don't know, but we don't watch the Toad one.
Should we talk about that one?
We could talk.
When did you first show it to me and Colin?
Oh, you guys were little. I just remember he had gotten some Disney movies. Like these collections, and it was part of it. And
I like that.
I loved it. The animation's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's so good. I mean,
and of course, Bing Crosby is
it's narrated by Bing Crosby.
And it's narrated and sung by.
He does sing songs in it.
But it's pretty scary. I mean, the art's pretty scary. The flaming pumpkin head.
There is some really. I mean, when was that? Like 45 or something.
It's kind of peak.
What would they play those on? Would those just be like
before a movie?
Before a movie, yeah, a one-reeler.
Yeah,
is that what they called them? Yeah.
They'd have shorts, like some of those ones we watched, like the Flash Gordon thing.
Yeah.
They'd have a cartoon, that.
Why is that? They would be 10 minutes
that's
max.
Before my time.
10 minutes max, usually.
One-reelers, yeah.
So the reason I actually even went on this whole tangent about the film and TV archive, which, apologies to our listeners, is because I've been trying my hardest. And again, I appeal to our network out there. If any of you heads know where to find this stuff, please let me know. Jacques Tourneur, the French, but really just American director who did Cat People and Out of the Past with Robert Mitchum.
Out of the Past.
Worked with Val Lewton. I think he also did I Walk with a Zombie. Did these really cool, moody horror films before moving into film noir and then ultimately doing a bunch of kind of programmer, Western, B movies. He was like a journeyman.
Yeah.
Just a
really working director.
Talented guy. But it's got to start in the late 30s and early 40s doing these MGM one-reelers that are apparently really cool. And they've screened before, like I remember when I was in New York, the land of, plenty in terms of film rep house theaters. They screened a bunch of his early stuff and I missed it. And, the site on Lincoln Center will still list like their calendar and stuff. And, the Film and TV Archive at UCLA has them. It's just like, how could I go look at them? Is what I'm asking. Because they sound so cool. And these are the type of things, it's like a lot of stuff.
Like that. I mean, how is whoever owns that, whatever studio owns that, how's that not just available on a streaming service?
Money off that? Like, like I am maybe in a handful of like two other people who Google that. That's why I'm like, just give it to me, bro. Like, just give me the film.
I would see it.
I would too. And it's like a collection of like 10 or 12 short films, one-reelers that are historical in nature. They sound really cool. You like did one on who was the king in France that they locked up and put the iron mask on. They eventually made a movie with Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah. The King in the Iron Mask or whatever. He did a historical they were called historical mysteries. So he did one about that. He did one about John Wilkes Booth after the Lincoln shooting, and they all sound really cool. They were 10 minutes, and they had to be super economical because MGM barely gave them any budget. They would literally
Who owns their library now? That's what we got to find out.
Amazon, I think, because they own MGM.
It's worth. I mean, when was the last time you looked?
Hey, Jeff Bezos, give me those films.
You know what I'm saying?
I just need them. Give them to me, bro.
We want to see them.
Or we just
Release
go march
films.
up to the films. That's our hill to die on. Release the 1940 to 1949 Jacques Turner one-reelers from MGM. This is the most important issue facing us.
Files.
Yeah. But anyway, I was digging around trying to find anything, and I was able to get a couple low-quality rips off YouTube, thank God, because people are...
But they got to be getting them from somewhere.
I know. I think what happened is that they probably played on the Turner Classic Movie Network, as far as I can tell, because I did a bit of sleuthing, and people on Reddit were like, yeah, I love these. Like, they're really hard to find. I think they definitely played them on TCM before.
Didn't they buy... At one point, didn't they own the library?
Turner?
The MGM library?
They had a streaming app called Filmstruck that had it on there for a minute, but I don't think they fully owned it. They probably licensed it or something.
Because I remember the library got sold, and it's been sold more than once. So now I think they owned it.
But in terms of who keeps the negatives, it's the UCLA Film and TV Archive up in Santa Clarita.
So that's where it lives.
I think we need to do a sting operation.
Well,
get up there, steal the film
I wonder
reels.
if they do a thing where they will knock a...
Like a...
they would have
They
to,
wouldn't.
No.
They'd be like, what
Unless
are you using
they've
it for?
already digitized. Then maybe they've digitized them.
Maybe. Should I just appeal
That's a
to
reach
their...
out.
Should I appeal to their film?
How do we find out more about the title?
UCLA Film and TV Archive. I want to visit, and I would love to possibly... I mean, even my dad and I would take... We would take an opportunity to sit in a room and just watch these there, if that's the best we can do. I just haven't been able to see them.
I'd love to.
And anything beyond
I'd
like
love
a
to see if we could go up
480p.
though and get a tour and do a little road show.
Well, they did one with a local radio station, so I know they're not like totally against the idea.
Why wouldn't? Yeah.
And I feel like, we're about like film history and like we care
100%.
about preserving things. So anyway, that was just to get to the point though that it's like stuff like that is obviously a deep cut. And again, I'm probably one of like a handful of people that have ever Googled those movies, but like it would be nice to be able to see those because those are the kind of things where I feel like I really love watching early work by filmmakers, especially like people who came up through the Roger Corman camp or even Don Siegel directing TV. It's cool to see somebody who went on to do bigger stuff to be like, oh, wow, this is them.
Well, and that was how a lot of those people were groomed.
Exactly.
Do you remember when you were basically going to film school with me? I had so much fun when Dan was like in junior high and high school. We just were gobbling up all this film history stuff. And we started reading about all the serials.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were available.
I know.
And I've got DVDs of those. And we were watching the early Batman ones that were serials. And
totally.
that X-19.
And these were all like
X-19.
key influences on George Lucas for Star Wars too.
For Star Wars.
And Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones, yeah.
He grew up on that
But like
stuff.
Flash Gordon, all those kind of things.
Yep.
And some of those directors went on to do a lot of things.
Big stuff.
They had very low budget, but it was a chance to show your chops.
I know. And in that, I think is maybe also a bit of the sort of maybe, I don't know.
I've
missed
romanticized that
opportunity.
period.
Yeah, I've
in my own head,
romanticized it.
but there's something, if it was the way I would imagine it, I would love to be under contract at a studio and have them go, you're directing a Western this week. Or next week you're doing a science fiction picture. It's like, okay.
Yeah, they just threw stuff at you.
I would have loved that.
There's just no one. Also, that back then too. I mean, there was a sense too that they just kept the factory running. You know what I mean? Like they had all this stuff. Like the overhead wasn't as big of a deal. Now you think about what audiences expect when you say science fiction.
Theatrical audiences were massive back then, and how many movies some of the studios were releasing. It was insane.
Speaking of peak years, early days, salad days.
Yeah.
The documentary from 1980 that I think the BBC did, or it was two British filmmakers about Hollywood, and they interviewed people that were still alive at the time from the era. It's just called Hollywood. It came out in like 1980. Have you ever seen it?
No.
It's on the Internet Archive, like in parts. There's like 12 parts.
I'd love to see it.
I think
I've got some books.
Yeah, they definitely released a DVD
called, the people talking about that era.
Yeah, but they
That's
like interviewed like
before they had passed away.
Like firsthand,
yeah,
like
That's what the book is.
Yeah.
It's all firsthand stories.
People that were still alive at the time in the 1980s or late 70s.
I got to see what year that. I have 2 books about that.
Yeah.
One's called The Parade That's Passed By. Which, I mean, there's kind of sad because it happened so quickly. You know, when silence transitioned and like a whole bunch of filmmakers were just left in the dust.
Yeah.
And actors.
Technological changes like we were talking about on the past couple episodes.
Sunset Boulevard, which I'm reading a book about right now, was really captured that.
Yeah.
And some of the casting in that movie is crazy that I didn't even realize.
Like,
Keaton's in the waxwork.
Oh, yeah, he's in the waxworks,
Which I think I knew, but reading this again, I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And at that point, he was like an alcoholic, and I don't think he'd lived much longer. It was really sad.
Yeah, that's the interesting story to me, maybe. That's not the one that's the more commercially viable one, but like what those people did after is funny or sad, tragic, kind of illuminating. You know, I mean, it's Bela Lugosi and Ed Wood kind of.
I mean, the irony is in that movie, you know, it's Gloria Swanson who had a wonderful life post. I mean, I think she won an Oscar for that movie, and then she went on. She worked.
There's
right up
nothing
until
wrong
she
with
died.
looking like you're 50 unless you're trying to look like you're 25.
Amazing line. It's a
Sunset
great
Boulevard.
movie. It really is. It's just an amazing film. That's kind of a scary movie.
I do remember watching it at a pretty
widowy,
young age with you and feeling
It's very. I mean, he's his own worst enemy, but
he is. It's just a fascinating. You leave it to Billy Wilder to do something that's so.
it's just kind of a stark whole view of Hollywood too.
It's noir-y, but like in a really interesting way.
Yeah.
There's nothing really like that movie in a way. I feel like because it is also so.
What was the other one? A Lonely Place was pretty. I mean,
that
very
is-
different story, but kind of
also
had that
kind of-
same like sense of dread. You know,
There was just sort of
undergirding it.
pessimism.
Yeah, that movie is dark as Get Out.
I mean, I just don't know anymore. Speaking of dark movies, I saw the new Yorgos Lanthimos last night, Bugonia, which is a remake of a Korean movie called Save the Green World or Oh Green World. Came out in the early 2000s about an activist who kidnaps a CEO, believing that she's an extraterrestrial being. I won't spoil the plot, but yeah, I got an email from Letterboxd, which is funny because I think they probably just geotag when they do these things for studios, and like anybody in a certain radius is invited, and then they just expect there to be drop off. So I don't think they reached out to me in any sort of like, oh, you have
they did though
a great account or something. Because I have
Oh,
like 4
don't be
followers
so
on Letterboxd, and my average reviews
One
are
of
like
them is
fire.
Letterboxd, apparently.
Apparently they can pull the strings like that. But I went with Milo, my brother-in-law, soon-to-be brother-in-law, and it was good. It's interesting, but it's also very bleak and feels like kind of in the Sunset Boulevard tone of voice, in that you're dialoguing with like 2 eras, right? Where it's like in that film, William Holden represents kind of the present and today, and Gloria Swanson is the past, and this sort of like sense of old and new clashing. I mean, this film's definitely pretty overt about that too, with the Jesse Plemons character. But it's funny because it does remind you, it's like, I don't know, we're arguably in an even more of a kind of fork in the road moment.
I know it's funny because that movie, I think I haven't seen it yet, but just from what I know about it, and the whole conspiracy theory thing touches a little bit close to home with what's going on. So did One Battle After Another, which we brought up and didn't really get into before we run out of. Well,
I feel like we should just devote a whole episode to that.
Yeah, let's put it this way: it's still out in theaters. Go see it if you haven't
seen it twice.
It's good.
It's really fucking good.
It's really good, and it's beautifully made, and I'm a fan.
Yeah, it's super entertaining. I did have my doubts going in. I will say the way the film was marketed,
a little bit too on the goofy side. It's not that it's not doesn't have
no,
funny
it's
moments.
just. But I realize now, having gone in and experienced it, that like that speaks more to sort of the necessity of a big studio movie having to kind of lay its claim in a very crowded world, in a modern world. But like there was some cringy stuff they were doing where a lot of the trailers were hitting lines in the film or punching up jokes that like aren't really actually the most memorable things about the film.
And they don't give you a sense of what the movie's about.
Yeah, no, they don't. It's actually way more subversive and radical and like non-commercial than I expected, which is great because I appreciate.
And don't take non-commercial as not entertaining.
No, it is. It's just like they kept saying like this is PTA's biggest budget. It's with Warner Brothers. It's his widest rollout yet. Like he's never been on this many screens, and so some of that you're kind of thinking like, oh man, is he like compromised or like what's going on here? Like I did have my concerns going in that it was going to be like aging skater dad talking about like making they them jokes, which is what the fucking trailer seemed to me, to be honest. Like other people agreed with me on this. Like I'm not alone in being like, ooh, I don't know, man. And I did go in with kind of lowered expectations and is pretty floored. I mean, I've seen it twice and I'm like amazed at how the movie's able to tackle a lot of what's happening in all of its extremes without feeling too preachy. It's a very careful movie. It's like,
and I read Vineland and I didn't even realize until you brought it up. And I think I scanned over that in a review and just didn't click that it was loosely based on that.
Yeah.
Because part of it seemed familiar and I'm going, but I read it almost 20 years ago. The book came out in 2008. Right?
No, earlier than that, 90s or something.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's about,
I don't even remember it.
60s revolutionaries and Reagan 80s.
And he brought huge elements to the story and changed it.
But it's his own.
Yeah,
thing.
it's him.
Yeah. I mean, more than anything, it feels like the type of person that's just read every single Pynchon book ever and is like fully digested and atomized that into his own kind of cocktail. So it's like it is Pynchon, but it's also just because PTA is part Pynchon. So I didn't read the book, so I can't say like specifically what scenes were in or weren't. But
it's too far. I'm too far removed from
I think it also just works as a whole.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing. We can get into it, but yeah, basically really good. Go see it if you haven't already. And shout out to Benicio, who is my favorite.
Good. And Leo, we love Leo.
Oh, he's
DiCaprio
amazing.
So good. Yeah. So good. Everybody.
A few small beers.
Well done.
Yeah.
A few small beers. All right, let's get to work. We've cruised past the hour mark.
It was good. Episode 13, a lucky number or spooky number 13. We did the haunted things and scary things. And
now you've got me. I want to help dig down and find those.
Yeah. Those Val Luton or the Jack Turner MGM shorts. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll find them.
All right. I'm just going to put
But she got a great ass. And you got your head all the way up it.
Oh, I have to say one thing.
Yeah.
The editor and me, even that clip, his line reading, I've pulled it together when I've cut these things. Anyways, that's only for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got to let Al do his thing.
All right.
You, Al Pacino.
All right.
Different Al.
Timecode Cowboys listeners, thank you so much. Yes. We really appreciate it. Anybody out there listening to us ramble on, it means a lot.
It does.
Thank you. And hit us up if you want us to talk about something. We'd do it.
We'll do it.
All right.
Later, guys.